and welcome to episode 506 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you are jamming some Warhammer 40k in space or you're playing some Unfinity in space, we are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Meghan.
And that third voice you just heard go, ooh, is none other than our special guest for this episode, Mark Rosewater. Yay! We're so excited to have Mark on the show. We were just up in Canada. In fact, we are for the recording of this.
Yes,
in Canada.
In Canada. When you hear this, we will no longer be in Canada.
But can you hear the Canada?
In our voice. Oh, sure. Yeah, I can.
Oh.
I'm real sorry if you can, but there it is. We're in Canada. A to Z Tim Hortons. Yeah, we're in with Loading Ready Run for the pre-release for Unfinity.
No more Canadians are listening to the show anymore. We chased them all away in 10 seconds.
Do you know the number of different kinds of people we've insulted to the point of them shutting our show off? It's got to be quite high.
Yeah, no, it's pretty high.
I mean, just random groups of people.
But not the people on submarines, not yet.
No, thank goodness. They all still love us.
Yeah. But don't worry, we have some submarine roasts really coming.
A submarine roast is a new sandwich at Subway. Where it's like grilled or whatever. Wait, no, it has to be roasted. Never mind.
Okay. Where were we?
Talking about Unfinity. That's why we're here with Mark to celebrate Unfinity at the pre-release. I've got 2 packs in my hand, 1 collector booster, 1 normal booster. Both look great, can I just say. So we're going to talk to Mark all about Unfinity, the development of Unfinity, and if you want to play Unfinity, which we highly suggest, how to play it, how to draft it, what the draft archetypes are, and all of some kind of cool behind-the-scenes stories about how to make an unset, which I think will be really fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited. But before we get started, we have some people to thank.
Yes.
First and foremost amongst them are you, the listeners and patrons of this show. Special thank you. Special thank you.
Special. It's like esports.
To Jacob and Adam, our 2 new patrons in this past week.
Thank you, Jacob and Adam.
Jacob and Adam, this one's for you.
This is for you.
This one's for you. If you want to become a patron and have a show that's just for you, you can become a new patron or up your pledge. That also gets this show for you.
Yeah.
Over at patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Yeah, it just takes like a minute or 2 to sign up. You get to become a member of our awesome Discord community, which will become relevant in another episode. If you're a Discord member, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
And you get a show dedicated to you.
Yes.
A special shout out. So, you know,
lots of other
go
sweet
do
stuff.
It'll be fun.
Plus, it means so much to us. I can't believe we got to read 2 names. Anytime we get to read any names, I'm pretty thrilled about it.
Everybody, we're also going to say thank you to Card Kingdom, like we always do, but we always mean it from the bottom of our souls. And I don't mean souls with a U, I mean souls with an E, because the bottom of my feet, from there up.
There up is thankful for Card Kingdom. The best place to go if you want to order boosters, singles, boxes, whatever else you need to play the game of Magic the Gathering.
If you are like, you hear this episode and you'll be excited about Unfinity, because I don't know kind of how you couldn't by the end of it. The set is awesome. You can get it at Card Kingdom. They have all of your Unfinity needs, including, if you're like me, a filthy degenerate who wants to play with the Unfinity lands in their limited decks.
Wow.
You can do that. You can buy singles over at Card Kingdom/GLHF.
Get them lands.
Have you seen the Unfinity lands?
Yes, I've seen the Unfinity lands.
I'm asking the royal. Have you the royal you?
Have the royal you?
The Spacek lands?
Yeah, yes. The Spacek lands. I love them. I love space just in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of space, Mark?
I am a fan of space. I made a whole set about space.
Okay. All right. Fair.
All right, Maria,
that was fair.
I guess Mark should be asking you, are you a real fan of space? Because
I made a set about based in space. Have you made a set based in space?
What have I done in space? Nothing yet, but I have plans, Mark.
Have you done a podcast in space yet? A show in space?
Oh, I wish.
Anybody, listeners out there, can you help us make this podcast in space?
Maria, you would have to go to space.
a dream, a true dream come true. You know, we've asked before, where do people listen to this podcast? And we've gotten answers like we talked about the submarine people.
Yeah, that's true.
There's submarine.
Still on our side, submarine people.
I shouldn't call them submarine people. The people on submarines.
Oh, you lost the submarine people.
Listen to our podcast. But we've also wondered, have any astronauts listened to our podcast?
Hey, if you've ever been space, or I'll take space adjacent.
Are you space adjacent?
Yeah.
And have listened to our show in your space adjacent place?
Yeah.
Wherever that may be.
Whatever that means
Let
to
us
you.
know.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Oh, all right. Let's go.
Time to talk Unfinity. Okay. Okay, Mark, I'm walking into this draft format knowing nothing.
Okay.
What's my options? What's the charcuterie before me?
Ooh, charcuterie.
Okay, so basically there's two main mechanics in the set.
Great.
Which is stickers and attractions.
Love
Okay.
both of those.
Though they appear in all 5 colors, so if you want to just play stickers or play attractions, low-hanging fruit, you literally can take every card that says sticker on it or every card that says attraction on it in whatever colors you want. That will make a deck you can play, have a good time.
Great.
Yes.
Here for it.
But
Okay.
if you want to go next level, that's
Yes.
like the base level, okay?
Okay,
so,
okay,
All right, base
okay.
level, just those are the two mechanics.
Right, just pick a mechanic, pick that word, pick your colors, you're good.
Awesome.
Okay, but you want to go a little
up.
above that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we did is there's 10 2-color combos.
Okay.
So we make 10 archetypes. So I will walk you through the 10 Unfinity archetypes.
You
Let's
hear that?
go.
You're getting the 10 archetypes
The 10,
from
okay.
Mark Rosewater himself.
Okay, number 1.
The horse's mouth.
Blue.
I'm
white
sorry
and blue.
I called you a horse.
We're going to alienate all of the Mark Rosewaters on this show. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
How many people can we alienate before the show is over?
Oh, don't ask.
Don't even.
Submarine people, space people, horse people.
I mean, we're using the word alienate, and there's aliens in the set, Mark. Do they
Good.
hate us now?
I think the aliens still like you.
Okay, thank
Okay.
God.
Excellent.
Okay, white blue.
White blue.
Okay,
White
so
blue.
the white blue archetype is a name stickers matter.
Okay.
So normal Magic can't care about names. Normal Magic can care about whether it's the name or not. Like we can say,
Yes.
I can affect things that are exactly this name.
Yeah,
But it can't care
sure.
about qualities of names. It can't care about what letter does it start with, how many words in it, how many unique vowels are in it. None of that we can do. But in unsets, we can do that.
Great.
So the blue-white archetype is caring about names. And then what you want to do is there are name stickers in the set. So you want to put name stickers on to enhance.
Yeah.
I
I pulled up the blue-white signpost uncommon
Yes.
for the set, which is Angelic Herald, and Herald is spelled like the name, everybody.
that's his name, Angelic
It's
Carroll.
really good. One
He
white
sings
blue
like an angel.
for a 2/2 angel performer with flying. When Angelic Herald enters the battlefield, you may put a name sticker on a non-land permanent you own. Each creature you control with 3 or more words in its name gets +1/+1.
Right. And it's a good example of names matter, so you can put stickers. The more stickers you own, the longer the names get.
Great.
But you can also, let's say you pick up Angelic Herald, just getting longer name cards, some names already have 3 names in them, get a bonus automatically.
So I have a question. What are some of your favorite sticker names that you could add to cards?
So delusionary is the one word that has all 5 vowels and a Y in it, which becomes very important.
All right.
So by the way, here's how we had to do the name stickers.
Yeah.
Is I made a list of 3 things. One was, what are all the requirements that some card cares about?
Yeah.
The second is, what are all the cool top-down tropes of a carnival, circus, amusement park? And the third is, what are fun magic words? What are words that show up a lot in Magic? Oh, sorry, and there was a 4th list, which is what are funny words.
Great.
And so basically every time I pick a word, I'm like, oh, does it meet a requirement of the set? Oh, is it a magic thing? Is it a carnival thing? Is it a funny thing? And then if you were in multiple categories, that was better, right? So the
Yeah.
more things you could be in. So ideally, if you could
That's great.
oh, you mechanically mattered and you're magic or carnivals and you're funny, those would go in. So anyway, we spent probably way more time than it should, making sure of all the names. So there are 48 sticker sheets.
Yeah.
There's 3 names in each sticker sheet. So that is 48 times 3, 120, that's 144. There's 144
Nice.
unique names in the set. There's no repeating of names. And anyway, we spent a lot of time on them,
That's cool.
making sure the comedy and everything is as good as it can be.
I saw that jetpack is a word you can add to cards, and I think that's a great one.
Jetpack is
I think my favorite is I want to have. So there's the white card knight in blank armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a sticker that says guacamole.
Yes, that's right.
Knight, you can have a knight in guacamole armor. I'm
Because
just
guacamole is a funny word.
Don't you know guacamole's called avocado dip, Meghan?
Maria once, in this very city of Victoria, Canada, called guacamole avocado dip, and actually I haven't talked to her since then.
That caused a schism.
Yeah, this is not actually happening right now. I edit myself into every podcast and post and try and respond as I would have if I had been there live. It's a lot of work. Okay, so that's white-blue.
Okay, that's white-blue.
Yeah.
Okay, next is blue-black.
Blue-black.
So blue-black is what we call dice control. And the idea, it's a control deck, but it makes a lot of use of dice, and blue and black are the two colors that can manipulate dice. Blue can re-roll dice, blue can make you roll extra dice and pick one. Black can up the result from up or down by one.
Sure. Yeah.
And so the idea is, there's a lot of things that roll die, and by the way, attractions roll dice. So whenever I say we care about die rolling, you care about attractions, because attractions roll dice. So the idea in blue-black is you get a lot of cards that roll dice, and then you want certain results, and so you can fine-tune the results.
Yeah.
So let's talk about DK.
Yeah, DK, Finder of the Lost, is one blue-black, and DK, by the way, is like the name D and then the name K, but it's like DK, like it's
like a zombie.
She's a zombie.
She's in charge of a lost and found, but she's a zombie.
Oh, it's beautiful. She's a 1/4. When DK, Finder of the Lost, enters the battlefield, open an attraction, so you get to take your attraction deck and put one onto the battlefield. Whenever you roll a 2, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever you roll a 4, you may tap or untap target artifact or creature. Whenever you roll a 6, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Right, and the perfect example there is you might want specific things in the moment, and so you might want to try to get your dice to get the effect you wanted. So she gives you different possibilities, but a 2 is a drain. That's very different than a 6, which is getting back a creature, right? So they're doing different things, so you might want to manipulate. And blue-black is more of a control-oriented deck, so you're sort of going to win. It's a little slower of a deck, but you'll win by controlling things and then bleeding them out or attacking with unblockable things or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. It seems very blue-black, too.
Oh, by the way, look at the art for DK. It's a lost and found, and there's a lot of magic items that are lost and found in it.
Oh!
For example, what is she holding in her hand?
The UFO hat thing.
Yeah, Skull Saucer from Unstable.
Skull Saucer.
That's when we had to put your head on the table.
Oh, great.
But anyway, there's a lot of objects in the back. So Annie Sardellis did our card concepting, and there's a lot of jokes in the art. So there's a card called Bag Check, where they're dumping out, like they're checking your bags, and all the items are magic items. There's a prize wall. A lot of them are magic items. So there's a lot of magic items hidden in art in this. So there's a lot of little Easter eggs. Okay. Can we move on to Black-Red?
Black-Red.
Okay, Black-Red. Monaxa is the name of the signpost card.
Monaxa.
So Black-Red is about rolling high. Rolling dice, but rolling high, and it rewards you. The higher you roll, usually the better. So Monaxa is a good example of this.
Monaxa, Midway Manager, 2 black-red for a 3/3 vampire employee. Whenever you roll a 3 or higher, Monaxa, Midway Manager gains first strike until end of turn. If the roll was 4 or higher, it gains menace until end of turn. If the roll was 5 or higher, it gains lifelink until end of turn. 6, roll a 6-sided die.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool. Nice.
So if you're playing Black-Red, you want to play a lot of things with dice rolling. Again, attractions roll dice, so you want to play attractions. And it's looking for you to roll high. So there's Black manipulates a little bit. Red tends to roll a lot of dice. And then there's a lot of rewards for rolling high things there.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out, just Monaxa is a cool story. We decided that the Midway is going to be run by vampires. So all the workers on the Midway are vampires.
Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, like
that seems about right.
That's when you want to go. The Midway is at night, so it makes sense that vampires.
Well, it's in space. There's no day. It's in space.
Or is it always day and always night?
But are they on a planet?
They're outside of a planet. I guess it's true. They're outside of a planet. I think they tend to, if you look at all the art, it looks like it's during the night. So I think maybe they keep the ship on the dark side.
Okay. All right, that's black,
okay,
red.
that's black. Next we get to red-green.
Red-green.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So the signpost card for this is the Family Goblinson.
The Space Family
Goblinson, which is a great name. So red-green is about rolling lots of dice. So it rewards you for rolling many dice in a turn. Usually 3 is the trigger. So that's the Space Family Goblinson.
2 red-green for a 1/1 Goblin Guest. The Space Family Goblinson has trample as long as you've rolled 3 or more dice this turn. Whenever you roll a die, put a +1/+1 counter on the Space Family Goblinson.
Great.
Yeah, and so the idea here is you just want to roll a lot of dice with the red-green, and it rewards you for rolling a lot of dice. Again, attractions are good because you roll 1 dice every turn if you have an attraction. So red-green also likes attractions, but likes dice rolling and and generally you tend to build up. It's more of a mid-range deck, but you can build things up and attack. So it's more of like a red-green mid-range, but with a dice theme.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
Okay, next up is green-white.
Green-white.
So this is Whiskers and Tusk.
Tusk and Whiskers.
Tusk and Whiskers. Sorry, I get it backwards.
Yeah.
Tusk and Whiskers. Okay, go ahead.
Very cute. You go, Megan. You go.
3 green-white. Legendary creature, Elephant Mouse Performer for a 4/4. Whenever you put an ability sticker on a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. 2 green-white tap. You get ticket. You may put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own.
Okay, so green-white is about ability stickers matter. So ability stickers use tickets. So in the sticker thing, in order to do abilities or power toughness stickers, you need to have tickets. Tickets are like energy, they're a counter that you get.
Sure.
Names and art are free, so you can just do those whenever. So green-white is about kind of doing a build-up. So it really wants you to enhance your creatures and sort of make them bigger and then kind of win with them. And so it helps you get tickets, it helps you get, ability stickers. This card rewards you specifically for ability stickers. And so it's really about building up your creatures.
And this is very cute.
Yes.
And it's very
The mouse is balancing on the end of the elephant's tusk on top of a ball, which seems exceedingly difficult.
Yes, and the elephant also doing quite a bit of balancing.
Oh yeah, the elephant is also balancing on a ball. Like
We're all balancing.
I think everyone looks at the mouse but doesn't realize how much work the elephant has to do.
Exactly. right.
Tusk puts in a lot of work.
metaphor.
I think
Tusk
Whiskers
is really the foundation of this act, but everyone looks at Whiskers and it's a tough time, all right?
Whiskers is on the posters, and Tusk is bitter about it.
I mean, Tusk reads the reviews. It's always Whiskers.
Whiskers.
Tusk is like, come on. So
I take up visually, I'm 99% of the picture here.
okay, next we move on to white-black. So this is Brim's Barone. So white-black is our hats matter our archetype.
Yeah,
thank
hats
goodness.
matter.
So art matters in this set in a way that it doesn't matter in most sets. I mean, art is
It
lovely in
matters
most sets,
to
but
me.
it mechanically matters in this set.
Yes.
And what we found was we early on tried different things, like if you have a blue thing in your art, and what we found is a lot of art is very subjective.
Yes.
Like even what is blue, we had an argument, like we literally had an argument where I'm like, that's purple, that's blue, it's purple, it's blue. So it's very hard. How people see things is very subjective. But what we found was hats was something that most people could agree on. So at low rarity,
You found the one thing that can bring America together.
Hats. So,
Hats.
and Canadians.
And Canadians.
Yes.
So what we found was at low rarities, so at common, uncommon, mostly hat matters is what we have. And then at high rarities, at rare and mythic rare, we have some other art matters cards. So there's other things you can care about in the art.
Okay.
But hats is our theme, and it has a recursion theme. So it's a white-black recursion deck, but it specifically cares about hats. So here's
Well, I mean,
Brim's.
it's so much easier to resurrect someone that was wearing a hat.
Yes.
Oh yeah, have
We've
you
all
tried
been
to
there.
resurrect a hatless person? Much more
so
difficult.
much more difficult.
Yeah.
All right, Brim's Barone, Midway Mobster, 3 white, black for a 5/4 legendary creature, human rogue. When Brim's Barone, Midway Mobster enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control that has a hat.
Sick.
Brim's has menace as long as you're wearing a hat.
5/4.
Okay, so two things to bring up here. One is we have to wear a hat. Some creatures naturally wear a hat, but we have stickers. And there are, I think, 2/3 of the sticker sheets have a hat sticker.
Great.
So you can put a sticker on it. So the way stickers work is, as long as you're in a public zone, so if you're on the battlefield, if you're in the graveyard, if you're in exile, if you're in the command zone, the sticker stays on. If you go to non-public zones, which is the hand or library, the sticker goes back to the sticker sheet. You can re-sticker it. But for example, when things die and go to the graveyard, the hat stays on them. So there are cards that'll get back hatted things, for example.
I would personally like to be buried with my hat collection.
Yes.
The second thing is, you'll notice that Hat Matters extends not just to the cards, but to the players. And so if you're going to play in an Unfinity event, you might want to wear a hat, because there are cards that both reward you for wearing a hat, and there's even a card that prevents you from being damaged if you have a hat.
Ooh,
So
powerful.
Wow. I mean, that's why I'm so glad we're doing the PPR at Loading Ready Run.
Let's have this
Costume
debate
closet.
right
Yes.
now, though.
What?
Is this a hat? I'm pointing at something that it's like a Viking helmet
yes.
with a mask
It is-
inside.
it is-
That's a hat.
That's a hat.
Yes.
All right.
I was going to ask about Comet, the Stellar Pup, one of the planeswalkers from the set, is wearing a space, helmet.
Space helmets are not hats, although many, because they do not actually sit on the head, But we have a lot of the creatures that have a space helmet have a hat on. If you look inside.
It must sit on the head.
It must be on the head.
Because those are resting on the shoulders.
And
Is
not
that your
only that,
argument?
the helmet's also part of a larger outfit that's,
I like to take this
hoods
to
are
heart.
hoods are not hats, so.
Okay, hoods are not hats.
Hey, by the way, we have an FAQ. We define the hat, so.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Okay. And we can talk more Comet later. Comet has a great story, but let's finish the archetypes.
Okay.
And then I promise we'll talk Comet.
Great.
Okay.
What's next?
Okay, next is blue-red.
Blue-red.
So this is Roxy is the card. So blue-red is the art stickers matter.
Yes.
So art stickers are free. I mean, you have to have a card that says you sticker them, but they don't cost tickets to sticker. And you just want to have a lot of art stickers. So the more art stickers, the better.
Yeah.
So let's read Roxy.
You have Roxy over there, Megan?
Yes, Roxy, publicist to the stars, 2 blue-red for a star 4 human employee. Flying, Roxy, publicist to the stars, power is equal to the number of permanents you control with an art sticker, plus the number of cards in your graveyard with an art sticker. When Roxy enters the battlefield, distribute up to 2 art stickers among 1 or 2 non-land permanents you own.
So blue-red's all about art.
Yeah.
So you want to play a lot of art. In general, by the way, the things that care about stickers, I talk about white, blue is name stickers, green, white with ability stickers. There's a lot of generic cards that just care about stickers. So all those cards are playable, even if you're caring about a specific thing. But then there's cards that give you extra bonus if you're playing a specific kind of sticker.
Yeah.
So all the generic sticker cards will work in any sticker deck.
Sure.
I'm going to later on ask each of you which sticker you most identify with.
Oh, thank you.
So consider. I want you to just be contemplating.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, we have black-green. So black is the primary attraction color. Green, I think, is secondary. So black-green is about play lots of attractions. So it gives you a lot of rewards for just visiting a lot of attractions, and you make that happen by having a lot of attractions. So Spinneret is the signpost card. Want to read Spinneret?
Spinneret Arachnobat. Great name. 3 green, black for 2/4 spider performer. Reach. I would argue all spiders are performers. They're just like their webs. Like
They're doing their little thing
so
all the
extra.
time. Yeah.
When Spinneret Arachnobat enters the battlefield, open an attraction. As long as you control 3 or more attractions, Spinneret gets +2/+0 and has menace.
Ooh.
Right. So black-green just wants you to play a lot of attractions. And so just there's a lot of cards to get attractions, there's a lot of rewards for attractions, a lot of bonuses for having attractions. So we just want to have a lot of attractions. Okay, next up is red-white. This is Maria's favorite, I've been told. Yeah. Okay, so red-white is robot aggro. So we, in most sets, we like to have a creature type that we care about. Mm-hmm. In this set, it's robots.
Yay!
So in this world, all the clowns are robots.
Yes.
Although we'll see Patron in a second. There's one clown that's not a robot. She makes the robots. And then there's some robots that aren't clowns. But anyway, the idea here is put all the robots together in a deck. Robots are all red, white, or colorless, and then you can have this aggro robot deck.
I love it.
Yes.
I love being aggro, as you know. I really love robots, as some listeners know. Clowns sit uneasily with me, but I will accept it for the previous 2 reasons.
Well, the reason we made the reason all clowns are robots is we wanted to have robots because it's a circus, but we didn't want them to be creepy.
Wait, you want to have clowns because it was a circus?
Yes, clowns because it's a circus.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to have clowns. Whoa, we wanted to have robots because it's a sci-fi circus, but we wanted to have clowns because it was a circus. We didn't want them to be creepy because I don't know who the PR person is for clowns, but they've been really flipping at the job.
I know.
And clowns have been a little creepy.
Bad job.
So anyway, we made these really colorful, and so the robots, the cute thing about the robots is each robot has one function, and whatever its function is, it does to like the nth degree. So like all the clown robots have a different clown function. So for example, this is a pie throwing robot. This is a balloon animal robot. So they all have different functions.
I love that.
They do that thing.
Yes.
And Pietro, which we're going to read in a second, she's the one that programs all the robots. She's the maker of the robots.
Oh, what a great job.
She studies the science of humor. So.
Pietra, crafter of clowns.
Yes.
1 red, white for 3/2, human clown artificer, haste. Robots you control get +1/+1. Red, white, tap. Tell a joke you haven't told this game to someone outside the game. Create a 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature token. If that person laughed, the token gains haste until end of turn.
Yes. Maria, what is the joke you're telling?
Wow.
First joke that comes to your mind.
I don't want to save now because I want to save it for the PPR.
All right.
But this is going to air after the PPR.
I have to think of a non-dirty joke.
Yep, you have
That's
to
an
think of a
impossible
joke.
That's her
task.
handicap.
All right. Mark, do you have a joke ready?
I do.
Card. You
Okay.
tap
I play this
it.
card. Okay. Why did they ban the jazz orchestra?
Oh.
Why?
Why?
Too much sax and violins. I would have got haste.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
That's haste right there. That's
Yeah.
haste for you.
That's a good joke.
So.
Yeah, I love this. I love this archetype. I think it's so cool, and I just absolutely adore the tell the joke
Yes.
clause on this card.
Yep.
It's just so perfect.
Tell a joke,
on set.
get a clown.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really great.
Okay, the final archetype is green-blue. So Ambassador Blorpy Blorpoop is our signpost card. So he cares about power toughness stickers. So basically what you want to do is it helps you get tickets and then just make your creatures really big using power toughness enhancing stickers.
Great.
And then attack. So let's read Ambassador Blorpy Blorpoop.
All right, I've been practicing this name, everybody. Ambassador Blorpity Blorp Bloop. 3 green blue for a 3/3 alien advisor guest. When Ambassador Blorpity Blorp Boop enters the battlefield, you get 3 tickets. Then you may put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own. At the beginning of each combat, you may have Ambassador Blorpity Blorp Bloop's basic power and toughness become equal to the total power and toughness of all stickers on permanents you control.
Great.
Got there.
So anyway, so the green blue is all about it's sort of a kind of a rampy deck that gets you tickets, gets you mana, and helps you sort of like make big creatures by using power toughness stickers.
I'm in love with Ambassador Blorpity Blorp Bloop.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
so
Right.
cute.
He is very cute.
He's got a lot of swagger for it.
Yeah, so in his art, by the way, so the flavor of the Blorbians, he's a Blorbian,
Yeah.
was, so the Captain Rex Nebula, who's the captain of the Aftertorium, not the best of pilots, he accidentally backed into their planet.
Oh, wow.
And so Myra gave permanent residence to all the aliens, the Blorbians, and so then they now live on the Aftertorium.
Oh.
And they've gotten very, very good at all the games. So if you notice in his art, it's his collection of all the stuff he's won at the games.
Oh,
That's-
good
that's,
job, him.
so-
He's done so
Yeah,
well
he's
for
done very well.
himself.
He's
Yes,
got a lot
and
of stuff.
it has a Johnny plushie in it.
You know, I think that we can all really identify with one day I accidentally backed into a carnival and now I live there.
No, the carnival backed into you.
Oh, sorry, the carnival backed into me. It's happened to the best of us.
Okay, so now that we're done with the archetypes, I promised we'd talk about Comet.
Yes, Comet.
Okay.
Comet.
So what happened was I talked to the players a lot, and one of the common requests I got was people were like, all these humans, could we have a non-human
I have said that to you before.
And so one of the things that came up is people saying, you know, it'd be really cool. How about a dog planeswalker?
I mean,
like he digs up bones
yes.
in Innistrad, he buries them on Zendikar, like not a human, a dog. And I said, so for Unsanctioned, which was the box set, I went and talked to whoever's in, like I didn't say, I had to clear, like I didn't want to make something that we'd make in a normal set.
Yeah.
And so I'd pitch a bunch of different ideas, and I said a dog, and they're like, well, we'll get back to you, we're not sure. So we ended up doing Beebles in that one. But anyway, I went back, it was a different person this time, and I said, what about a dog? They're like, sounds good to us. So
Yes.
the playtest name for this card was Laika. The first dog in space.
The first dog in space.
And anyway, so the trick of this card was, why don't you read the card before I explain what the card's about?
Okay. Comet Stellar Pup, great name. 2 red white for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. 0, roll a 6-sided die. 1 or 2 plus 2. Then create 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. They gain haste until end of turn. 3, you get -1. Then return a card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, I see. 4 or 5, Comet Stellar Pup deals damage equal to the number of loyalty counters on him to a creature or player, then -2. 6, +1. You may activate Comet Stellar Pup's loyalty abilities 2 more times this turn. Cool!
Very cool.
Right, so the premise was, how do you make a dog planeswalker? And what we finally came to the conclusion was, well, they have to act of their own accord. Like, this is not a human that you can tell to do things, it's a dog. And so the flavor we like a lot is,
I love
the dog
that.
just does what the dog's going to do. I mean, generally they're good things, so you know.
Yeah.
And so originally they had flavor words on them. We couldn't fit the flavor words, but like the first ability was chase squirrels. And the second
Yes.
ability was dig up a bone. And the
Great.
third ability was, attack. And the fourth ability was do tricks. And so
Oh, that's so cute.
and so anyway, that's the
Comet.
idea is Comet's going to do what Comet's going to do, but because there's dice rolling in it, it's very random. So like you can have amazing Comet turns. You can have kind of not so great Comet turns, but you can have amazing where you're rolling lots of dice, he's doing lots of things. I once had Comet attack for 10, so that was my best.
Good dog.
I want, like, one, I want to read a story that's Comet Spark. Like, how did Comet Spark
Yep.
happen? 2, have you all had dogs that do that thing where they're inside, but they want to go out, and so they put their nose right up against the window,
Yeah.
and then they lick the window? And I can just, all I'm imagining is Comet licking the inside of his helmet. That's all. I was just pushing his dog nose up against the inside of his helmet and then licking the glass.
So here's one of the cool things. Since we didn't actually produce an article explaining all of the stories, that I can just make things up and claim that it's official.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to
Great.
contradict me, right?
Absolutely.
So here's my belief on how he sparked.
Perfect.
Oh,
Let's
here we
hear
go.
it.
Canon.
He saw a squirrel and got so excited, he sparked.
Perfect.
That's what happens to me, honestly, whenever
So a
I
lot
see
of times,
squirrels.
they spark because some traumatic thing happened to you, like
Yeah.
this horrible thing happened. But I just think he got so happy. He was so excited.
He was so
that he
excited.
sparked.
Yes.
You know, so that's
Oh,
the
Comet.
comment was happiness. He was just so happy.
I'll give him a traumatic story, but that's dog traumatic, which is where like his people left for 5 minutes to run to the grocery store. Like the person left, they came back. They were always gonna come back,
Sparked.
but for that 5 minutes, he was like, "They're gone forever."
Yeah.
Oh, and,
sparked.
And the reason that Comet is here, this little side note, is there's 4 different what's the word I want? We have lots of animals and they overrun the place.
Zoo.
Lemmings.
No. What's the word? So, like for example, if you
A menagerie.
A humane.
well,
Humane society.
Okay, look at the word. But so there's on the park. There's 4 different animals that are running amok on the park that they can't keep under control.
Petting zoo.
Oh,
One is there is gremlins.
great.
There are beebles. There are rats and there are squirrels.
Oh, incredible.
And so the fact that there's so many squirrels on there is Comet loves squirrels.
Yeah.
And so he just has endless fun. So whenever he's not, jumping around the multiverse, this is his sort of temporary home.
This is his favorite place. He's
And
like, look at
Myra
all the
built a little
squirrels.
doghouse for him because Myra likes him a lot. So.
Oh.
I love that
Comet is
gremlins
so
are
cute.
here, Mark. I really am a huge fan of
Yes.
gremlins, too.
Yes.
And of course they would be. Like, this is
Yeah,
it for
it
them.
makes sense.
Yeah, there's it's an outbreak. Anyway, there's an outbreak of all sorts of different things on the. There's also a Beeble, there's a Beeble outbreak. There's a bunch of Beebles on the set, so.
Fabulous.
Right.
So we've gone through the 10 archetypes,
Yeah.
and we've
Yes.
talked about Comet, the best dog.
Yes.
I want to just quickly say for people who are interested in drafting this and stuff, the other unique thing about this set is the attractions. So I just want to cover exactly how those work real quick.
Sure. Okay, so the way attractions work is there are cards that open an attraction.
Yep.
So attractions are a second deck, much like contraptions were a second deck. So you have a second deck, they have a different back, and they are artifacts when they put them on the battlefield. So when you open up an attraction, you take the top card of your attraction deck, which is randomized, you put it onto the battlefield, and then as long as you have at least one attraction at the beginning of your main phase, you roll a 6-sided die, but one die for as many attractions as you have. You don't roll many dice, just roll one die no matter how many
And then
attractions.
it's the result that
and
all
then
will
on
use.
each
Okay.
attraction, there's 1 through 6, and certain numbers are lit up. 1 is never lit up, 6 is always lit up, but then it varies card to card. And then whatever you roll, you visit those attractions. They all sort of go on the stack, so you can visit whatever order you want. So if you roll a 5, then look at all your attractions, and everyone with a 5 lit up, that's what you visit this turn.
Okay, great. So, for example, one that I just randomly have up here is Bumper Cars, which has how many different variations? 1,
There are
2,
6
3, 4, 5, 6. So, for example, in this particular one, if you roll a 3 and visit it, target creature must be blocked this turn if able. So there you go.
So the way the
Nice little
attractions
bonus.
work is we talk about variants of them with 3 exceptions, which I'll get to in a second. All the exceptions is the number that lights up.
Yeah.
So what we did is we made different versions with different numbers lighting up. So each time you play, it's not always exactly the same. So maybe I bumper cars one game and it's 3 and 6, but I play a different game and it's 2 and 6. For
Oh, that's
example.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, and the 3 exceptions are there's 3 uncommon games. Oh, so the attractions break into 3 general categories. There's what we call the rides, which represent famous rides, roller coaster, log flume, stuff like that. And they do a bunch of different random effects, mostly affecting creatures, but not completely. Then there are the stands or the stores, and those are things you can get, like the concession stand or the clothing shop.
Yeah,
And
the
you can-
foam weapons kiosk, which
Right.
gives out +1/+1 counters.
Yes,
Great.
Great.
And so the idea of those things is they give you some sort of resource. They give you a card or they give you a +1/+1 counter, stuff like that. And then the last thing are the games. The games are you're going to play a mini game and then there's a prize. And so if you win the mini game, you get the prize, and the prize is something
So
you get.
good. So good.
And then if you win a prize, you sacrifice that attraction and open up a new attraction. What we found was if people got too good at games, they were winning too often. So we cycle them. So
Like Trivia Contest is one
Right.
of the game attractions.
Oh,
yes.
man.
So okay.
Visit, this is the one, 236. Visit, an opponent chooses white card, land card, or planeswalker card, then mills a card. You have 10 seconds to name something from the chosen category that starts with the same letter as the milled card. If you do, claim the prize.
Okay,
In this case, the
and-
prize is you get 3 tickets, and you may put a sticker on a non-land.
And I do want to point out on this card, there's 6 versions. This is one of the ones that has 6 versions. So
Yeah.
this card says white or whatever. And another card might say red or
Yeah, colorless.
They say different things.
Yeah.
So
An opponent chooses a colorless card, creature card, or plain, then mills a card. Yeah.
right. So
All right,
so
so-
real quickly, it's Trivia Contest and the Superlatorium and Scavenger Hunt. They're the 3 that have different versions because they're all games, and we wanted to give you more variety of what the game was. So they have
Cute.
different things you look for. So
I
but-
really
okay.
like that. I just want to try a trivia contest with you
Okay.
right now.
Yes.
Which one do you want to do, Megan?
All right. I'm gonna hit one at random here. This one.
pick-
An
yeah, pick
opponent chooses black card, artifact card, or expansion. All right, let's go with expansion.
Expansion.
Okay.
All right. I just picked up some random cards that were laying on the ground in a. I'm sorry, loading right around. They were neatly placed in a box. I'm gonna mill the card here. It is red pyromatics.
So P.
P. Expansion.
Actually, all the way 1? Oh, that's in the future. But
there you go.
That guy.
Yeah. Is there any other expansion?
yeah,
that
there
starts
is.
with
There
P?
is. It's the one after Nemesis, a prophecy.
Prophecy. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Well done. That would have
All
been
right.
very difficult.
You get 3 tickets.
without the future. Fabulous. This set, I just gotta say, this is a home run on flavor. I absolutely love the
Yes.
mini games.
Yes.
I think that's so cool. And yes, for people wondering, there is a way to play a sub game in Unfinity, and if you choose Scheherazade for your
Well, there's 2 things. There's a card called Tug of War.
Yeah, Tug of War.
In the set, that's a sub game. And then there's a card called Photo Op that lets you go get any card, and you could go get Scheherazade.
yeah,
when
and
want
you
again.
pose as Scheherazade.
Right, so
and then,
Photo Op, the way it works is you have to pose as a picture, post it on your social media, and as long as somebody guesses it, you can go wish basically for that. Any
Yeah.
card people guess, you can wish for that card. So you have to sort
Great.
of pose as the card you want.
So you've already got your Scheherazade down for when we record.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes, I have the
Yeah.
pose.
Megan, what card are you gonna pick?
Ooh, to pose as?
Yeah, for you to wish
Oh,
for.
my goodness.
You can post multiple pictures, by the way. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
This is so hard.
Don't
I
look.
love so many cards.
I'm gonna do,
Okay,
do
how
one.
do I
You have to
pose
guess
as
who it
Treasure
is.
Cruise?
Are you
How do I
going
pose
to
as
iconic
a
magic
How
card?
do I pose as a boat full of treasure?
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
Me being
There it is.
Treasure Cruise.
Okay,
Okay.
Which card is this? Everybody can play. Who's in this room?
Okay.
This is the card I'm wishing for. In front of me. These are. I suppose I can't even like.
No, you
can't
just
talk.
have show us the
You,
photo.
you have to show a photo.
Slippery Boggle.
I mean, good guess, but no. I'm looking for a more powerful effect than Slippery Boggle. Nothing?
Hold on. We can get there.
This is impossible.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is.
Show us again.
Sorry,
I
podcast
do not
listeners.
know.
This is doing nothing for you. I was posing obviously as Crater
as
of
Crater of
Behemoth.
Behemoth.
These are the trees in front of me to
Yeah.
show scale.
Oh, that was
You
good.
looked anguished, and I think of Craterhoof Behemoth as smiling.
Yeah, I think he's happy.
What are you talking about? That's not a smile.
Oh, on a beast that big,
Yeah, that's a behemoth smile.
That's a behemoth smile.
He's happy.
Okay, if
He's
you
having a
say
good- he had a
so.
good day.
That's who I'm posing as. Mark, how did Unfinity come to be? The space theme, all the rest of it, as space fans, as you know,
Yeah.
as we both are. Tell me the story.
Tell us the
what is
journey.
the origin story?
Yeah,
Yes.
the origin story.
So basically, we did Unstable, it did well, and so they're like, okay, let's make another unset. So what I like to do when I make unsets is I like to sort of take something we do in normal Magic and put the unlens to it.
Great.
So I decided I wanted to do a top-down set. And a good example of top-down sets might be Innistrad, that we did top-down
Yeah.
Gothic Horror.
Horror.
Throne of Eldraine, we did top-down Fairy Tales. Theros is top-down, Greek mythology. So I went to Dawn Mirren, who's my art director. She did the art direction for Unstable. We worked great together. We were excited to work together again.
Fab.
So I said to her, okay, I want to do a top-down set, but I wanted to do something I don't expect us to be doing in Magic anytime soon. Because, unsets aren't trying to chew up stuff we would just do.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, give it a week, come back in a week and tell me what do you think you want to do? So she came back, she goes, okay, retro science fiction. And the idea is back in the 50s, they had this, there's this whole sort of looking at the future, but how the past looked at the future.
Yeah.
And so retro science fiction is very 50s, 60s, and there's an art style to it and everything. And so she goes, retro science fiction. I say, circus / amusement park / carnival. And we looked at each other like, why can't we do both? So that's how we got Space Carnival.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Oh, and in fact, by the way, just going to point this out.
Yeah.
The booster fund. So we tend to do cards with the second art style. So the booster fund for this shows up on all the legendary creatures.
Yes.
And there's also some booster fund land stuff. But on the legendary creatures, there's 30 of them, and it's a retro pop art style where it has sort of this.
Cool.
It has
really
sort of
great.
the look of the future from the 50s and 60s.
Yes.
And it has sort of a cartoony sort of vibe to it. It's very cool.
Yes. It's like it's cartoony, but it's so good. I love it.
Mark, there's aliens in this set, which I'm
Yes.
also a huge fan of aliens.
Yes, there are alien. In fact, the alien creature type appears for the first time in this set.
Oh, excellent.
Wow.
Yes. There's an alien dinosaur. There's an alien squirrel.
Because it's hard to do aliens
There's
in normal magic.
a legendary
Yeah.
alien advisor guest who's on
They're
the package.
all aliens in Magic,
Yes.
technically. My question for you is, do you believe in aliens?
Do I believe in aliens? I do believe in aliens.
Do you?
Because it's a very large universe.
Yeah.
And I believe just on pure combinatorics and there's life, has to be life out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it looks like us, but there has to be life out there somewhere.
Do you think that they're out there right now speculating about whether we exist?
That is possible. Maybe they made their
Right?
own Unfinity set.
And it's all
in it,
Comet.
their shit looks like us.
There's a photo of you on a
You're on a pack.
magic booster.
I'm Ambassador Blorpy Blorpoop in another galaxy.
And people are like, oh, wow,
And
look
they're
at
like,
him. He's
he
so
wears
cute.
pants? Why does he wear pants?
Why is he wearing pants?
This is indecent.
Okay, thank you. That would have been a burning question for me for a long time, if
Yeah.
you believed in aliens
Yes.
or not.
Well,
So
now
now
it's
it's
settled.
solved. Now it's solved.
Yeah. I mean, that feels good.
I asked you, but I would like the audience to know too.
Okay.
I was like, do you have the same number of people working on the fun sets, Universes Beyond, Unfinity, as you would for a normal standard set?
Well, basically, the larger the set is, sort of like how much revenue the set will make, essentially, the more people that are on it. So, the more money the set will make, the more people hours it gets.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
every set has to budget, basically. And one of the budgets is people hours. Literally, how many people for how many hours can work on it. So, this was a little bit of a smaller set. So, we had a little bit of a smaller design team. So, for example, at any one point in time, it was 3 or 4 people. Now, we rotated a lot. But where a lot of sets that are a standard set, I might have 5 or 6 people. I've even had as big as 7 people. So, it was a little bit smaller, but only because it's a smaller product.
Sure. What is your personal number one favorite thing about Unfinity?
That it got published.
That's a great thing about it.
Honestly. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite thing as far as a card, the card I'm proudest of is Vorthos. So you want to read Vorthos?
Vorthos is really, really good. I'm going to find the alt art of Vorthos because it's super cute.
Okay.
So this is Spike was the one that you did last.
Right, so what happened was in Unglued, we did Timmy. So Timmy and Tammy are one of the psychographics.
Yep.
And then in Unglued, we did Johnny. So we later added the female names. They weren't, sadly, at the time. But Johnny and Jenny. So Johnny showed up in Unhinged. Then we did Spike in Unstable. Those are the 3 psychographics, but they're 2 what we call aesthetic profiles, which are Vorthos and Mel. So Vorthos now shows up here. And if you'll notice, Timmy was green, Johnny was blue, Spike was black, Vorthos is red. What could Mel be? Okay.
Ooh, the mystery.
Interesting.
Vorthos, Steward of Myth, 1 in a red for a legendary creature, human gamer, which is great. As Vorthos, Steward of Myth, enters the battlefield, choose a named magic character. Each spell you cast with a chosen character in its name, flavor text, or art costs Wooburg less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. She's a 1/3.
Yes.
Great.
So the thing about her was we wanted to sort of continue along the cycle.
Yeah.
And Vorthos is all about the player that gets really in for flavor. The thing that really drives them is the flavor of the game. So I wanted a card that you could literally build around flavor. So the whole idea of this card is you get to pick a character, any Magic character, and then any card that at all references the character, and that includes, by the way, words that are referenced. So if you pick Avacyn, you get Avacinian. If you pick Niv Mizzet, you get Izzet. If you pick Azor, you get Azorius.
Which we've talked about. Maria and I were already blown away by the fact that we did not notice before that Mizzet and Izzet are essentially the same.
why
The Izzet were named after Niv Mizzet, who founded the guild.
Yes.
But anyway, so the idea is we wanted you to be able to build around it. The reason it specifically has Wooburg in it, we wanted it to be a 5-color card so you can build a deck of all 5 colors. So you can maximize. And the whole idea of the card is I'm building my Jace deck, my Chandra deck, my Urza deck, my Azor deck, my Niv Mizzet deck, and then you can just build a deck all around a character.
Oh, that's great.
So
I love it.
Also, just speaking of Spike, as people have pointed out, we see Spike having the time of her life.
Oh, absolutely.
At this carnival, which is nice to know that, when she's done being spiky playing Magic, she goes out and has a nice time at the carnival.
She's spiky at all games. That's what
okay.
I think she's playing skee ball.
Yeah, she's gonna win this skee ball.
She's playing skee ball, and
I love skee ball.
winning. She's winning in skee ball.
This card is very cool. Instant 1, reveal standard procedure from your hand. Choose an instant or sorcery card with mana value 3 or less, currently legal in the standard format. Standard procedure becomes that card until end of turn.
I asked Mark, I was like, what do you get with standard procedure? And he immediately fired back with how many cards you could choose from right now.
There's currently 246.
Whoa.
I know this because I had to do my teaser, and I realized I originally looked at the wrong thing, and I said 500, and like, wait, that's wrong, and I looked back, and there was 246. So I got to say, almost 250.
Okay. 246 choices.
Wow. And by the way, when Brothers War comes out, there will be more than 246 choices.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yes, the
card
number will
only
go
gets
up.
better.
Yes, but it keeps. So the inspiration for standard procedure, I made a card in Unglu 2. It's a set that never came out. That was called Shameless Plug, and it could be any card. You could turn it into any card that was in the latest Duelist, which was the magazine we used to put out.
That's great.
And so the idea was the card kept changing as time changed.
Yeah.
And I like that idea, but obviously I can't reference the Duelist since it's no longer around. But, things in standards. That seemed like a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right. Earlier, I told you that I was going to ask you this question.
Yep.
Which sticker do you most identify with on these sticker cards?
Okay,
most identify with or most?
Nope, most identify
This is representative of you as a sticker. Where do I see all of the sticker cards, Megan?
There's a little gallery. If you look up...
Okay, well, I will go first.
Yeah. Here, if you want to search, you can scroll up and down all of them.
So let's see if I can find... I know where it is, but...
Unfinity sticker.
I'm on the card called Cool Fluffy Loxodon. I don't know if I can read that number, but what number sticker is it?
Let's see. This is 28.
So sticker number 28, and the sticker I most fit is there's a Karn bobblehead.
Yes, great.
So I co-created Karn because he's from the Weatherlight Saga. Mike Ryan and I co-created the Weatherlight Saga, and I have an affinity for Karn. And Karn is just looking out for people, and he's trying to do the right thing.
I know.
And I have an affinity for Karn. So what happened was when Annie was picking all the images that we were going to make for the set, I asked her, the one thing I asked her for, I said, could we please have a Karn bobblehead? And so she said yes, and so we got a Karn bobblehead.
Good. Okay, Maria, which sticker are you?
What do you think I am choosing?
I think that you are...
The rubber chicken?
Very good guess. Very good guess. You're the cheese.
The cheese. Great guesses. These stickers are fantastic. Like, there's so many good ones. This is like impossible to choose. I did consider the rubber chicken. It is in fact in second place.
Okay.
First place is the alien squirrel.
Oh, the alien squirrel.
I love the alien
squirrel is very cute.
So one of the things we did for the stickers, by the way, is we went through and figured out what were fun things we could do. So for this one, we made a list of things you expect at a carnival, things that were magic related, because there's a lot of magic jokes on here.
Yeah.
And just things we thought would be fun to sticker. Like one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure the act of stickering them on your card, the art stickers, are just fun to sticker. There's fun things to sticker. So we made word balloons, and we made sound effects, and we made 2/3 of them have a hat so that you can put hats on things. And there's just lots of magic jokes. The Mirari's there. Thassa's Bident is there. And there's plushies the idea is these are all things you could find at the park. The stickers represent things you can find. So, for example, there's plushies for most of the Gatewatch. There's like a Jace plushie and a Chandra plushie, even a dead Gideon plushie. So...
Wow.
Specifically dead.
He's got little X's for his eyes.
I love that you could just find the chain veil there.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
get the chain
chain
veil.
veil. I mean, there
it's
it is.
not the real chain veil.
I thought it was like.
I mean, this is real.
It's like in a claw machine.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the real one.
Real one. Megan, which sticker are you?
I'm the corn dog.
Yes, the corn dog is great.
Great sticker. You know, feels like me.
So the way, real quickly, so stickers, you get one sticker sheet per pack.
Yep.
And while you do draft attractions, you do not draft stickers. So whatever sticker sheet you open, keep it. Those are your 3 sticker sheets.
Oh, there's Kirk's thumb.
If you're playing, it is Kirk's thumb. If you're playing in constructed, you bring 10 individual ones, so it's singleton, and then you randomly pick 3 before each game. So you have a little bit of control, but not complete control.
Yeah.
And when I say 10, you can bring up to 48. You know, and if you want, we have online, if you just want to randomly pick 3 and don't have them in front of you, you can go online and click it, it'll just give you 3.
Great.
By the way, you also don't have to have the stickers. If you just have a pen and paper, as long as you record what the things are, you can just, with pen and paper, do it. If you don't have the sticker, you don't have to have the sticker. In a lot of ways, you can think of the stickers kind of like counters. Like they're just things that you put on.
Right.
And so you don't have to have the actual stickers, although it's fun with the actual stickers.
Yeah.
It is fun with the actual stickers.
But there are 2 cards, by the way, you kind of need the stickers, both of which are Acorn. One is called Jugglebot.
Jugglebot.
Yeah, look up Jugglebot.
Yes.
So Jugglebot, you have to put stickers in the art, and you can't touch Jugglebot or the frame or each other. And then the more things he's juggling, the more powerful he gets.
Juggletron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Juggletron, sorry.
Yeah.
Whenever Juggletron attacks, you may put an art sticker on it. Juggletron gets +3/+0 for each item in its art that's not touching Juggletron, another item, or the card frame.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes, so you're trying to get
That's
as many.
great.
And then there's a card called the Aquatorium. And the Aquatorium, Juggletron wants you to have small stickers. The Aquatorium, it's a tank that has an octopus and a shark in it, and there's cracks in the tank. And you have to cover up the cracks, and if you do, instead of getting a shark, you get an octopus. So instead of a 4/4, you get an 8/8. And so you want as big as stickers as possible so you can cover the cracks.
Yeah, you're trying to keep the shark in.
You
but
do
the
not want
octopus
to
can
get out.
Climb out.
Oh, man.
So those are the 2 sticker shape matter cards.
Okay.
So those you kind of need stickers. But other than that, you can use pencil and paper for nothing else other than those 2 care about the quality. There is one more, the Funambulist, I forget his first name. It's a blue card, it's a tightrope walker.
Brad.
And then you have to balance something on the other. You put an art sticker on the other side of his pole. And then if the outside person thinks it's weighted, then you get it. It's near.
Oh, okay.
Yes, focused funambulist.
Focused funambulist.
1 and a blue for a 2/1 flash. You ask a person outside the game, does this look balanced? If they say yes, you may tap or untap target creature.
Yep.
Great.
Yes.
So then that one cares about what's in the art, and do you think it's about the weight of an alien? Because that side has an alien on it. Has a Blorbian on it. Those are the Blorbians.
Oh, well, we don't know the density of a Blorbian, so.
What, people have to guess. What do you think density? Maybe they're heavy.
I think that they're
pretty
dense on the
pretty
inside.
dense. They look kind of dense.
Okay.
They're basically
so you put an elephant on their side, is what you
Yes.
Yeah, it's very magical space density. It's like, how much would I weigh if I was on Jupiter? 20,000 pounds or whatever, like that. Okay. Is there any story you want to tell that we didn't ask you about? Sorry.
Yeah.
This has a lot of story. One of the things that's been so most sets I work on the beginning of the set and then I hand it off and somebody else finishes it. So most sets I'm there for the early part, but this set I actually was in charge from the very very beginning of design to the very very end of design, and so I have endless stories. So that's the hard part. Like literally pick a card, randomly pick a card, I will tell you a story about it.
Okay.
How is this par 3?
Oh, how's this part 3? Okay. So this card, read what it does before I
2 blue for an enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell, you may have target player mill X cards, where X is the number of words in that spell's name.
Okay, so this card actually started as an uncommon. And the idea was normally we'll have an uncommon you build around to do a draft strategy where you're milling people out.
Yes.
And the idea I like because this was unset, that you care about names. So like you want to get wordier cards so that you can cast and do wordier cards. So what happened was it got so good that we ended up moving it to rare. But another fun thing about it is when we named it, we wanted to have a long name so that it played well with itself in formats where you can have 4 ofs. And so to the naming team, we said, okay, it has to have at least 6 words in it. And both the name of this card and the flavor text of this card was done by Kathleen from Loading Ready Run.
Oh, great!
I will read the flavor text because
Okay.
it is great flavor text. Against the infinite backdrop of space, isn't all golf miniature?
Oh, another thing about the card that people miss.
true.
The reason it's a miniature golf. Well, so I'll ask you, why is it a miniature golf course?
Wait, show me the art, Megan.
Okay.
Okay, so you tell me why it's a miniature golf course.
Because it has a windmill.
Right. It's a milling card, so we put a windmill on it. How do you get a windmill at a carnival? The miniature golf course has a
miniature
windmill.
golf cart.
Oh,
so
that's great.
that's why it has. And this card ended up being so good, we had to move it to rare. So what I'll say to you is, if you open this as your rare,
Take it.
It's its own draft strategy, but the wordy mill deck is actually quite fun.
I want to ask you about one that I just really loved, which is the Dexterity card, Devil K. Neville.
Okay, so when we first did the world push, so what happens is you do vision design, then we sort of build the world. We bring an artist for 3 weeks, and we sort of build out the world. There were 4 characters that during the world push we ended up making. One was Myra the Magnificent, because it's her circus.
Yes.
One was Captain Rex Nebula, the one who crashes into things. One was the most dangerous gamer, who is this like outlaw that sneaks in the park and wins games and then sneaks out. And the last one was Devil K. Neville. And the idea about Devil K. Neville was it was a daredevil who was literally a devil. We thought that was very funny. And then we said, okay, he jumps over things. That's what he does. And we came up with this cool thing where you you take a card, you put it on the end, and then you like layer cards here, and you flip it up, and you got to get over all the cards. And if you do, then you get a bonus. And you can pick how long the line is. So, like, the more adventuresome you want to get, the more you can.
Great.
Do you have a record, Mark, of how many cards?
I think the best I've ever done is 7, but it's hard.
Well, okay,
so
we're
show.
going to do
Okay.
it. We're doing it right
Okay,
now.
right here. So do 8.
All right, you lay them out. I'm going to read Devil K. Neville, 2 in a red,
Okay.
legendary creature, Devil Performer, haste. It's a 2/1. Whenever Devil K. Neville enters the battlefield, jump it over any number of creatures. If it clears those creatures, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so you're going to try to see if you can beat your record.
My record was 7.
Okay.
So the way it works is you can take any creatures that are on the battlefield, yours or your opponent's, and if your opponent doesn't want you using their cards, you can just bring in cards from outside the game and put them in.
to represent.
Okay, so I have 8 cards. So you lay it partly off here.
Yep.
And then these are all like perpendicular to it.
Yep.
Right next to each other, not overlapping but touching each other. And the goal is you want to flick it up and you want him to jump over it so he lands on the other side.
Okay. Let's see what you can do.
Let's see if I can
beat
do
your
this.
own record here.
No!
Wow.
I didn't account for the wind.
Okay, what
All
happened?
the wind in this studio.
Here's the
All right.
play-by-play. It went completely off to the
Yeah,
right.
Completely off the other way.
Attempt 2.
No.
So that's
Is hard.
none. It has to
no,
land
it
over
has to,
here.
it has to clear he has to jump over it.
Oh, he has to get all of them.
Yeah, he has to clear it.
Oh my God,
So,
this seems hard.
8 is hard. And to be honest, I'm not advising you do 8 at home. 8 is very hard.
Do not play 8
The
at
best
home.
I ever did was 7. That's why I'm trying to do 8. And I did 7 once, so it's not even like 7 is easy. If you practice, you can get a little better at it. With 3, you should be able to do 3. Okay.
Nope, absolutely
Maria did not make it over a single card.
Well, I guess I shan't be drafting Devil K. Neville
So
tomorrow.
one of the fun things about unsets is we can do things like dexterity cards, which is like in a normal tournament. Yes, we don't want people doing that. It's not like the World Championships. Can I flick the card? But it's fun to be able to do stuff like that, and like the visceralness of being able to like, hey, he has to literally jump over them is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's really fun to be able to offer to play Magic in totally new and different ways and fun ways and unsets.
So by the way, if you've never played an unset, here's one of the nice things about the unsets. Let me pitch why unsets are awesome.
Great, let's go.
There's a spectrum of Magic. On one end is like very, very serious Magic. You can like go to tournaments and play the most serious things and be world champion. Like there's a very serious end of Magic. But there also is the very sort of social fun side of Magic, which is Magic's about literally just having fun. Winning is nice, but it's about just am I enjoying myself? And that there's a lot of designs that we can do that tournament Magic puts a lot of restrictions on what we can make. There's a lot of cards we just can't make. For example, there's cards that make total sense, the players will play them correctly, but the rules can't handle them technically. And in a tournament, like technically it has to work 100% of the time. So there's a lot of fun cards, like Triple Strike's a good example, where like, Last Strike and Triple Strike, people
Yeah,
can
Last
understand.
Strike, I remember that.
People can understand how it works, but it doesn't work in the rules. You have to rewrite the rules to make it work. And so the idea is there's just a lot of fun things that you can do. We have what we call outside assistance, where you involve other people. We have die rolling, although die rolling now is in Black Border. We have stuff like Dexterity. There's stuff like calling someone on the phone or using social media or balancing things on your fingers. Like, there's lots of weird things that we would never do in a normal game that, hey, Magic is like, that's one of the joys of Magic, that you can make Magic the game you want it to be. And there's a really fun, crazy social game that it can be. And that's what this set leans into. It's like, hey, isn't it fun just to do something where it's just wildly fun and you'll make stories and you'll tell the stories about it, you know what I'm saying? And then that's the thing that I love about the unsets is more so than any Magic, they just lend themselves to telling crazy stories because weird and wacky things happen. Like last time, for example, I was here for we're in Victoria, for Loading Ready Run. Like, I was part of a two-headed giant playing in a Scheherazade subgame.
Yeah.
Which is like you can't.
Great.
You couldn't have invented that.
No.
We weren't even playing that game, and I still talk about that story.
It was amazing. It was really good.
Make memories. Unsets.
Yes, so, and that's what if you've never played an unset, they're just fun. It's just silly. You do things you don't normally do. Things matter. So one of the other things about Unfinity sets is, when you play games, what we call variance. And what variance means is, if I play the same game multiple times, how often will the same thing happen?
Yeah.
So for tournaments, you want low variance, right? I want the best player to win. So I want, if I'm playing my deck, mostly the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But high variance is fun. So this is the most high variance set we do. So when you play an Unfinity set, if you make a deck and you play 10 games with them, this is the set where they'll go radically different. Just the games you play, the stickers you'll sticker, or the attractions you'll draw, or just the way the game plays out is just very different from game to game. And so it is sort of juiced to be extra fun.
Juiced. This set is juiced.
Play Unfinity to get juiced.
Hey everyone, before we go, we have to thank our sponsor, Ultra Pro. And what better way to thank them and to share with them with you everything that they're doing than to celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, we love Halloween. We're big fans of Halloween here at Good Luck High Five.
Yes.
Podcast listeners, you're not going to be able to get much of this video just listening to it.
But you know what? You should certainly go watch it, because I will tell you, in this video, some of us love Halloween more than others.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Hey, I think I'm your opponent this round.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I love your setup.
Thank you so much. I just love Halloween.
Wow, me too.
It's like the best holiday.
Yes.
I throw a huge Halloween party every year. I invite the whole neighborhood. It's a great way to get to meet your neighbors and stuff. And
Yeah, totally.
and have a lot of fun during spooky season.
I roll?
Ultra Pro. There's a better way to celebrate spooky season.
If you want to see the video or watch it again or whatever, goodluckhighfive.com or youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. You can find it embedded in this episode.
Yeah.
Or we also tweeted it out. So
over on
follow
our Twitter.
us. GLHF Magic. GLHF Magic. What did I say?
GLHF. I don't know.
Anyway, that's where we tweeted it. You can find it there. Our Instagram. It was great fun to shoot. Thank you to Lodestone Coffee and Games for letting us film there. And to Ultra Pro, of course, for being an amazing sponsor. Hey, do you want 5% off at Ultra Pro?
Use code GLHF.
There you go.
Why wouldn't you?
We got that for you.
Why
Special.
wouldn't you want it?
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I love talking unsets, so it's always fun.
Yay.
Yes, this is our third episode with Mark over the years.
Yes, you can also catch us being a guest on his show. drive to work way back at the, sometime in the pandemic. I can't measure when it was. It was just
sometime
in there somewhere.
It happened.
2020-ish.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
This was awesome to get a behind-the-scenes look into Unfinity. Even when this set was just first going through previews, I remember thinking like, you guys nailed this. It's like so cool.
So excited to finally have it in our hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for people to play it. We've been making this set for quite a while, so it is. One of the things that's hard part of making Magic is you make something, you pour your heart into it, you really, really enjoy what you've made, and then you have to sit on it for like years until the public gets to see it. So
much like
I'm
a
happy you guys are finally getting a chance to see it.
And you heard part of the reason why we got to do this is because the last one did well.
Yeah.
So if you want more unsets, go play this unset so we can have more silly space random joy.
And also, like, which of these cards is cuter? I can't decide.
The dog.
Carnival Barker.
Fine.
I'm just saying what I feel. You asked, so I was here to tell you.